We're here with Aurora, structural engineer at Alinghi Red Bull Racing. You're out on the water today. Tell us what was going on. What were the objectives?
Well, amazing day on the water today again. Sunny, breezy, a bit of strop and swell. Just sailing on boat zero, trying to test some systems, doing some laps. Just still using as much time as we can on the SC75 now. So yeah, good day on the water.
So just tell us a little bit about your job. We understand you work specifically on the foils. What goes into working on the structures and the foils?
Well, it's about seeing a bit how much the foils will deflect under the water. Once we got a shape, seeing a bit how it will behave once it's under load. Also having all the load that will go also in the systems, not only in terms of deformation of the foil, but so that I can feed the guys in the office to design the suitable systems that will make the flap move. So yeah.
And what sort of materials are you experimenting with in the foils?
Well, we're not allowed to test many materials. It's mainly steel because we need to have some weight for the balance of the boat. So yeah, not much fancy things. For sure, you can see a bit with post-treatment, but it's not big deal, I would say. And
you mentioned that you're looking at the deflection of foils, and we've seen quite a few different foils, some anhedral foils. Is there a big benefit in getting the foils to bend and perhaps extend wingspan or any other features?
Well, for sure, we're looking into different things, different shapes. Also, with the sea state we have here, we have been testing things also with the AC40s. But every foil has its benefits and his down effects, and the goal is just to find the sweet spots depending on how the boat will be, how the guys are sailing. So yeah, it's about fine-tuning those parameters, and we're getting into that.
Is there a big effect on the load on the foils in flat water compared to the choppy water like we've seen today?
The load itself will be the same because it's mainly depending on the weight of the boat, but it's more like the difference. If the foil is going a bit out of the water, it will be more loaded and unloaded. So it's more about dynamic effects, which are quite difficult to model. So it's not, the load itself won't change, but it's more like the variation of the load that will be affected.
Mon, a day of single boat sailing for the British team today on the AC40 Athena. The LEQ component was the headsail. Let's just start with that. What can you tell us about that? A brand new design?
Yeah, so we've had that jib on a few weeks ago now when we were two boating, and then there was just a few outstanding things we wanted to look at, so kind of make use of today being quite a good day with the breeze actually, kind of covered the range quite nicely, to have a look at it again.
When you have a headsail to look at like that, from a trimmer's point of view, are you constantly thinking what feedback you're going to give on the sail, or is it a case of you're running through the manoeuvres?
Yeah, there was definitely some times today where it was kind of quite intense on the race course and there wasn't much time to be looking at necessarily the jib trim in detail, but at the same time we had some kind of longer legs to have a real look at it, and interesting to have a look at this jib, obviously kind of designed for the AC40, but always back in the mind you're kind of thinking about what feedback you can give at the end of the day.
Are you feeling a little bit hamstrung as a team, only having one boat now to do this race course work?
Yeah, obviously it's kind of a bit of a challenge for doing the race course stuff with a single boat. Obviously the two boat racing we did was incredible and good to get the intensity up, and it really punishes you for your mistakes. So we got to kind of keep on top of that once we've only got one boat to sail, and prepare the best we can for the race boat.
Are you in a position now where you know what people's roles on the boat? I mean, I guess we know who the helmsmen are going to be, but there's some roles still to be decided.
Yeah, so kind of the way the roles are divvied out on the race boat will be a bit different to this boat, with obviously having an autopilot set up here. But that's where the simulator comes in, and that's where we're kind of chipping away with the hours in there to kind of really nail that down before we launch.
Talk a bit about the flight controller role and the trimmer role. It seems like somebody's going to be doing a little bit of everything on the boat.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a few more roles to do on the big boat. I mean, there's times on the AC40 where you kind of have a bit of time on your hands, but there's other times where you kind of think how you're going to add any extra roles to it. But yeah, they're all going to be features of the big boat, and it's definitely a part of sailing these kind of boats, which we don't get with the autopilots on the AC40s, but is definitely a very important part of it when it comes to racing the 75s.
We are in Barcelona with Terry Hutchinson today, coaching for the Magic AC40 for the American Magic team, challenger of this 37th America's Cup. We had pretty idyllic conditions today. You were making plenty of pre-starts, maneuvers. We thought you were taking the most of the day.
Yeah.
Did you manage to achieve what your goals for today?
Yeah, I mean, we had a bit of an unfortunate situation yesterday with America where we stopped kind of halfway through our day to do a battery swap, and we had a crack in the hull. Don't really know where or when it happened, but it was there, and so we stopped. And today was as much about continuing the improvement of the guys on Magic to make sure that when we start racing again at the end of the week that they're at as high of a level as they can possibly be when they race the team on America. So, it was a very good day. These boats are, in conditions like this, they're awesome because everything's manageable, and we had a good ramp up in the breeze. I mean, it was champagne sailing. So I think from our perspective and what we were trying to achieve, it was a good day for us in that regard.
Yeah, we know now you're in a block of two-boat training.
Yes.
So yeah, it was a really pity.
It was a pity
to get this situation, but it was super impressive to see you sailing today, and plenty of pre-starts. I have a question.
Yes.
About the pre-starts, and the different strategies that you were using. Today are some of them that are structured, like in example, like football teams do when cornering, or there can be more like freestyling depending on the situation.
Well, when you're racing the boats, you have a couple different things that the sailors are contemplating. The first one is just managing the platform and managing the boat, and so the more comfortable the sailors are in the boat, and the more program and process focused that they are to certain timings, then all the other decision makers or all the other decisions become easier to make on the boat. And so, we're working a lot on our timing today. We're working a lot on our inter-boat communication, and we're working a lot on our time and distance to make sure that they hit the breeze or hit the line on the breeze with a half a second to kill or bang on. And so, the subtleties of that are a lot, but it starts at 6 minutes before entry when we're sitting alongside on the chase boat and getting our timing and getting our sequencing there in a proper manner.
Then, changing of topic, when speaking yesterday with Andrew Campbell, he was telling about how important it is to build consistency between trimmers when you want to take the most when sailing with two AC40s. How hard is for the coach to achieve building that consistency?
Yeah, man, it's a great question. I think our aero team has done a very good job at developing target shapes, and I think between Coach Tom and Sean and the guys that are, when we give the feedback to the boat, we all know what we're after, and so it's very easy to communicate because what they see on the sailboat, we see on the chase boat. So it's very easy to replicate settings and discuss how the boat feels as they're sailing along. So I think in that regard, it's very good.
Then last question, going now to the youth and women. With all the background that you hold today with the AC40s, how many times you will need to get a team of sailors to go from rookie to pro in an AC40?
I have no idea. I think all the sailors, every day that you're on the water, you're always getting better. And I can look at the last year and a half of debrief notes and see improvement in every single comment on the day. The repeatability, being able to sail in the moment with a clear head on these boats because everything happens pretty quickly is important. And I think when you watch the top teams, when you watch Team New Zealand, you watch Luna Rossa at that last regatta, you watch our guys, you watch all the teams really, their ability to process it at pace is probably what you're learning the most when you sail the boat. But things need to become second nature. And things like the simulators in both the AC40 and the AC75s helps develop that second nature instinct.
Piñi.
We are here with Matthew Van Dam, GC32 and F18 World Champion and trimmer on the starboard side of Orient Express racing team. Matthew, can you tell us a little bit how the day went today?
Today the wind was quite hard to use. It's a really good light patch and a bit wavy, so we have to manage to go to the good spot for training. So we spent a long time to look at it.
At the beginning of the day, when we were sailing with the offshore breeze, we were asked to come back to shore and pick up a toolbox, and then we saw that you were working on something related to the batteries. Can you explain us a little bit what happened?
Yeah, it was not batteries, it was more hydro settings. So we had some problem with the hydro system a few weeks ago, and we are still trimming it to be accurate and to be able to use it.
Then after the wind transition, finally we were able to get a good sea breeze further offshore.
Yeah.
And most of the time was spent doing a boat handling exercise. Can you tell us a little bit what you were trying to train and achieve?
Yeah, we try to do some laps, dry laps. So do some starting sequence and like racing.
Were you sailing on manual or autopilot?
On manual.
Flight control?
Yeah.
Do you always sail on manual all the time?
Yeah, we try to.
Perfect. And then when tacking or jiving, do you feel more comfortable or you feel stronger tacking than jiving, or the opposite?
Oh, it's quite the same.
Okay.
Like I said, there was a lot of waves, so it was quite difficult today in manual mode. But that's why we are here to train and to be able to do it.
Then when talking about the sails, today sailing with one design jibs, but with the LEQ 12 main.
Yeah.
From your position as a trimmer, can you tell us a little bit the differences you feel on the boat when you're trimming the mainsail?
Oh, so this main's LEQ 1, so it's a bit different from the normal one, the one design. It's a bit more deeper, so it's quite useful for today, the day like that.
Is it easier to stay on BMG target speeds and angles with this main than with the one design?
Oh, it's quite similar.
Quite similar.
But, yeah.